Vegeta gets sucker punched by Broly through Doula's magic. This isn't something that would normally happen, but because we have a magic user, these sort of shenanigans right here are going to be something that our heroes, and even the ones that haven't dealt with magic yet, they're going to have to get used to as they face these foes for the first time. Because now with Vegeta getting sucker punched, the Venerable Heir has Vegeta in his grasp, he has him in his hold, and all Broly can do is sit and watch in horror as his actions dealt Vegeta a critical blow. This thing was not a light punch. Broly is a heavy hitter, and that was enough to knock anybody out. I do like this ability the Venerable Heir has where he can kind of see in the past of the opponents, or just anybody really, and see what they've been through, what makes them who they are, and he catches a lot of these guys off guard this way because he's telling them information like, how do you know this information? Also, I do like the fact that his head looks like the Ocarina of Time. That's just an added bonus. But Broly here, he doesn't understand everything that's going on. Obviously it is Broly, but he does know that Vegeta is in trouble and everybody on the planet seemingly is at risk of being destroyed by this false god of destruction. And so the Venerable Heir charges Doula, his number probably 3 here, to face off against Broly, which I think is a complete mismatch. Although Broly's not used to magic, Doula is not used to Broly, so this is going to be a fun setup. I want to see what he looks like at the end of all this. But Broly is not having any of this "you're choosing my opponent" crap. He attacks the Venerable Heir only to be portaled back to Doula, which, I mean, this is a scene that you wouldn't want, anybody wouldn't want, facing off against the legendary Super Saiyan like this. But Doula must be certain of his abilities, that he is not worried at all. He's actually extremely overconfident as a magic user, mainly magic user, and I wonder how he's going to really fare against someone like Broly who has no magic abilities at all and isn't versed with magic to begin with. Vegeta is still alive. The artwork for this chapter is just glowing off the page. It looks like it is in motion. It looks like it's already being ready to be animated. This Vegeta coming at the Venerable Heir covered in blood, still has that issue with that one arm that Android 18 broke so long ago. This is all awesome stuff. I love that little tidbit here. But Vegeta is not ready to back down. And if you think I'm going to let you humiliate me like that, you're barking up the wrong tree. Come on. Don't say things you might regret, God of Destruction.
I know you love Dragon Ball, so don't forget to like and subscribe to BlackScape. Turn on all the notifications so you never miss a video. This is Rose, and I love you guys so much, and I can't wait till we hit the 500k Immortal Planet.
One of the cool things about the Venerable Heir is this chain whip sickle combination he's got. One of the few gods of destruction, or at least a fill-in substitute god of destruction, that actually uses weapons and abilities. But guys, look at the way that the Venerable Heir is using these weapons, like how the pages are set up, how the attacks are coming at Vegeta, how they're going frenzy, they're going all over the place. Vegeta has to dodge out of the way. The way that he's attacking, the panels reflect that. It makes the page seem like it's frantic. It makes you feel like you're claustrophobic because of the way that he's attacking. And honestly, with a character in the Dragon Ball Super manga like Gas, who also uses weapons, I hardly ever saw that. The panels always look the same. In the midst of the chaos, Vegeta runs up right into the Venerable Heir's face, but the Venerable Heir grabs him by the head, and at this point I thought that he was a goner. He thought he was going to be having his head squished like a cantaloupe, but that is not what happened. Vegeta slams his forehead into his mask. Remember, in the last episode he wanted to know who the heir was, but the heir would not tell him. He wouldn't give him his name or anything. He wouldn't say anything. And so Vegeta, his mission was to remove that mask, and it looks like he's trying to break it off his face. This is not what your past seems to show me. Scan me as much as you like. You'll never have access to who I am. You are proud. You have no idea. So the heir hits him where it hurts. His other associate, Salaga, the one that looks more like a demon, he's actually looking, actively searching for Bulma right now. He is going to Bulma, and this is enough to give Vegeta a reality check that they're making this personal. And honestly, Vegeta in this fight has far more to lose. So does Broly. They are on a planet that have people that are completely vulnerable to these attacks and abilities, and the Venerable Heir really only has his associates, and that's it, who are already extremely powerful. Unfazed by this information, at least surface mode, he doesn't care about anything else the Venerable Heir is saying, and he again charges him with all his might. But the only difference from before is that this time Vegeta, the OG real Vegeta, the one that the heir wanted to see this entire time, is actually here.
Who do you think you are to come all the way here to threaten me, my brothers in arms, and my wife?
Vegeta bellows as he repeatedly strikes the Venerable Heir over and over and over again. And with one finisher, with one final flash, he wants to end it now. One that seems to be covered in God Q, but what he doesn't anticipate is what comes next, and that is the Venerable Heir's chain wrapping itself around the blast, heading straight for Vegeta and avoiding any damage. This sickle not only binds Vegeta's hands together as he is committing to the attack, but also cuts his face wide open. And the heir just rides this up like one of Batman's grappling hooks. He just goes all the way up, completely bypassing this attack, and kicks Vegeta right in the face, but doesn't kick him hard enough to push him away. Vegeta is still held up, but he can be strong enough at this moment to handle this attack. That is when things start elevating for him. The heir is now at full attention for Vegeta, this mortal that dares to fight a god of destruction and is surprising him at every single turn. And with one strike, Vegeta takes the invitation and punches the Venerable Heir with both his fists straight into the side of a mountain. Pure unfiltered devastation, but again, this chain is not something Vegeta should forget about this easily or this fast, because this is enough to wrap around Vegeta and hold him there. But pushing himself well beyond his limits, going plus ultra here, Vegeta snaps the chains, breaks them, and comes down with the force of 2 billion megaton bombs. I'm just making that shit up, but that's kind of what it seems like, right into the Venerable Heir's mass, and finally breaks it. On the ground, the situation is that the king is being a king. He's holding back the troops because he realizes that these guys are a serious threat to anybody here on the planet, and just a couple of the best troops they have could go up and try to fight, but they could also more than likely die, and the war has not even started yet to lose anybody at this stage of the game. It's still very early on, so I understand where the king is coming from here, but I also understand that Kaba has been through some shit along with Caulifla and Kale, and they are ready to get through more of some shit and at least try to help Vegeta and Broly before something devastating happens to them. The fight between Broly and Doula is probably one of the funniest mismatches that I've seen in quite some time. Broly is using him as a toothpick. Any magic that Doula could produce, Broly is just kind of powering right through it, not really letting him kind of commit to casting any spells or having any effect on the battlefield. And because of that, he is just completely under the table when it comes to Broly. He is not even in the same league as him, and it's actually kind of funny to watch somebody so cocky be completely unperched from their throne. The mask, sadly, is not fully broken. It is severely cracked though. Looked like a crater landed right in the middle of his forehead. That thing is shattered as of right now. It is broken, but he is still left standing and laughing. This man is laughing like the menace he is. He does not care. He is having the time of his life. Vegeta gave it his all, and you can tell the frustration on his face because this guy seems to be enjoying all of this, but it looks like he has earned the respect from the Venerable Heir, and the Venerable Heir gives him his real name. It's called Amron, and he is just a stand-in for the God of Destruction of Universe 14 that is, as of right now, frozen in time. He is an aftermath, kind of a apprentice to this guy, and probably was going to be the God of Destruction for that universe himself as well. And we find out here that he didn't even need to stop at this planet. He wanted to stop here because Vegeta drew him to the planet. A guy that was trained by an angel that's just a mortal, he needed to see him, and obviously he does not disappoint. Vegeta is the real deal. With bloodlust rising, the Venerable Heir wants more from Vegeta, and that is when Vegeta probably does one of the sickest solar flares I've seen. I guess he just uses his normal ki to completely blind the Venerable Heir on his own, and he runs back to the other Saiyans, telling Kale, Caulifla, and Kaba to go find Bulma. The other guy is with Bulma, and that's when the king basically tells him that he probably won't take part in this fight unless his people are in danger, which completely makes sense. Again, the king is completely covered by me at all costs here. He is doing the best he can with his limited abilities. Doula puts Broly to sleep. That is the only way he could stop the madness. And look at this guy. He has had better days. He just looks like he has been through it, man. This dude got clapped up. He is not seeing straight. His teeth are missing. He's just completely gone, and he uses this time when Broly is sleeping to just start getting some free shots in. He's just going in on Broly, hopefully trying to damage him in some way, although I highly doubt he's doing anything. But the other Saiyans are kind of appalled by this behavior. This is not a honor type of action that he's taking, but Doula, he don't give a fuck. He's doing whatever he needs to basically win this fight. This lack of honor is enough to even incite the king to take action with his lieutenants that he is going to stop Doula, which again, Doula is the small fry here. He is not the god of destruction, so of course he's probably feeling pretty confident that they could dogpile on him. But that is when Broly wakes up, and just this page alone is just gorgeous. The way they have Broly when he's going into his epic mode or his angry mode, his Ikari state now in this manga is pure insanity. He just kind of looks like a Street Fighter villain at this point. He looks like completely out of a different manga, and he is trying to grab Doula. He is paralyzing him with fear. This could be Doula's end. And as he begins to power up a finisher, something that obviously is going to just smear Doula out of existence, off the planet, the Venerable Heir feels that Doula's end is coming and actually telepathically links with him, asking, "What are you doing?" And Doula's like, "Oh, I can't, this guy's too strong, I can't, I'm done for." And that's when Doula tells him exactly what to do. After reading Broly a little bit more, he knows what his soft spot is and how to get Doula out of the situation. So Doula opens up 2 wormholes, and these are enough to stop Broly in his tracks. Out of both of them, he snatches Lemo in one hand and Cheelai in the other, and that is when Broly, honestly, he just gives up right here. He's not going to do anything against Doula. He will stop. He will lay down his arms. I mean, the planet may be in danger, but Broly's not like a warrior. He's not even like that civilized. He's basically really young in his mentality, and he sees his friends like they could be dead. So he stops. He's like, "No, I'm not playing with this. I'm not double playing. I'm done." But Doula, instead of probably taking the heir's advice and, using these hostages to get the fuck away, he's like, "No, I'm not putting these guys down. This guy is a pure menace." And honestly, one of my favorite characters so far in KAKUMEI. Cheelai tries even in this moment to reassure Broly that, "Don't worry, we're gonna be fine. This guy needs us as hostages. This demon is going to have to let us go at some point if he knows what's good for him, but he is not here to get out alive. He is here for revenge over the way that he looks, his face, his pride. It's hurt." And in that moment, he kills Cheelai, which I did not see coming at all. This is quite villainous behavior right here. This guy went a little bit too far with my Cheelai here, but she's cut through to the core. Broly is in the midst of losing it. That's what this panel means. This whole page is him staring at Cheelai. Everybody else is watching not only Cheelai, but what he is doing right now. He is in the midst of transformation, similar to watching his father die before him. He is in that state. And seeing this last image of Cheelai as she has blood gushing out of her mouth and she is in the middle of dying, calling out his name, that is when we get the next evolution of Broly. This looks like Venom Carnage. It looks so awesome. This is, I would call this World Ender Broly. This is beyond anything that we've seen before, and I want this version of Broly to fight the Venerable Heir and stop him. I would hope that one of these characters at this point is strong enough to go up against not even just a god of destruction, but this guy is just the stand-in. He's like the apprentice. He's not really the god of destruction. So this is where the chapter ends. I cannot wait for the next one. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of this new chapter of Dragon Ball KAKUMEI. This is going to be BlackScape signing off. Take care, guys.
Subscribe for more content. Or perish.